The cosmos never fail to surprise me with the sheer amount of synchronicities that I uncover as soon as I sit down to study the chart for each lunation. But this lunar event is truly at another level magnificent. I'm talking about the new moon exacting at 9 degrees of Scorpio at 7:46 a.m. on November 1st. Yes, during the Numerology 111 portal. I don't think people realize how powerful of a new moon this is. 2024 has been filled with a number of rare and transformative cosmic events, but I'm quite certain that this is the most transformative of the year. Like beyond eclipse powerful. Now, I know that that's a lofty claim, but what makes this one stand out from the rest is because the power is in your hands now. This time, you are being given full control and all the energetic resources that you need to manifest magic. Now is the divine time to cast a spell to declare your dream life. The stars have aligned, and at this moment in time, divine will is at your disposal to use as you wish. The cosmos have given all the power and agency to you. But Scorpio knows, with great power comes great responsibility. So you're going to want to watch this video all the way through so that you can actually harness it to work in your favor. And just like a Sanderson sister, I am here with a spark to dive into the shadows and embrace the dark. It's Halloween season, where mystery is alive, and Scorpio's power transforms us to thrive. So here's my ode to bewitching delight. So welcome, my dears, to a magical night. The day of this lunation is incredibly synchronistic, not only because it's occurring on the 111 portal and adds up to a master number 11 day in numerology, but also because this day happens to fall precisely between Halloween and the Day of the Dead. And if you know anything about the archetype of Scorpio, then you know this sign pretty much is the energetic embodiment of these holidays. In essence, Halloween and Scorpio work hand in hand to draw us towards the depths, encouraging us to honor both life and death, mystery and transformation, and the timeless dance between the seen and the unseen. And how ironic is it that the cosmic message of this lunation is wrapped up in an aspect pattern called the mystic rectangle. Oh, but that's not even the most jaw-dropping happenstance. See, Scorpio is one of the few signs that has a two-planet co-rulership. Its traditional ruler Mars and Pluto, its modern ruler. And it just so happens that these two planets are creating an opposition with one another during their very own lunation, and both at the critical 29th degree. An intense degree of fate, known in astrology as the anaretic degree. Not to mention, 29 also adds up to master number 11. Scorpio energy invites us to embrace what lies beyond the material, exploring the realms that are often hidden, forbidden, or misunderstood. So let's take a journey into the depth of this potent energy and discover not just its occult meaning, but also how we can harness the magic that's hiding within the esoteric symbolism of this new moon in Scorpio. It's a cosmic call to co-create your dream life into manifested reality. So cozy up with that pumpkin spice latte and enjoy the moment of comfort while it lasts. Because you'll see, my star siblings, your glow up moment is here. Real transformation awaits you just beyond the veil, which doesn't get any thinner than it does on All Hallows Eve. Oh my god, I was dying of heat in that cloak. If you're new here, welcome to our family of star siblings. I'm Brie, and here at Stella Sage, I create content that inspires you to become your higher self incarnated. It's all about holistic healing and personal development inspired by the cosmos. So if that sounds like your vibe, then be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when I post. Because in all honesty, my ADHD brain makes the schedule over here not exactly the most consistent thing, but I do believe I make up for it in my uniquely creative approach in the genre of spiritual education. So check me out and let me know what you think. Well, not me, my channel. So what I'm wearing, I guess, kind of makes it easy to check me out too. So you may as well while you're at it. And it's kind of theme appropriate anyway. You'll see. So in today's video, we'll get to know the archetypal energy of Scorpio, unveil the symbolic significance of the numerology captured in this lunation, discuss the cosmic message and the planetary aspects occurring with the new moon, and learn how to harness this energy for personal empowerment and spiritual development. Now, one of the perks for still being a small channel on YouTube is I can assume that most of you did not see the video I created 6 months ago for the Scorpio full moon. So I'll be repurposing some of the clips from that video, which will not only help me use my energy more efficiently, but also it just makes sense to, since it perfectly lays the groundwork necessary to help you truly grasp the intensity of Scorpio energy. And I'm mentioning it so that you're not confused why all of a sudden you see me transform into a whole new look. But coincidentally, it seems to be a perfect example of when astrology gets literal, considering Scorpio rules the majority of my first house, the house of self, showcasing your physical appearance and how you present yourself to the world. And let me just say, boy, this lunation is hitting my chart in a big way. I'll share a bit of what I mean in the comments, but let's just say I am psyched for this one. Pun intended. But before we dive in, I just want to ask for your help to spread the love by engaging with this video. Not only do your comments and shares really seem to trigger the algorithm to extend my reach much further, but I truly love meeting like-minded people and getting to keep the conversation going. Even if you're not quite as intense and obsessed with this stuff like I am, you just being here and supporting me with a simple gesture of a like truly means the world to me. So thank you. And I'm excited to meet you in the comments. So please introduce yourself and feel free to share any thoughts or your personal placements below. So now let's dive in, shall we? Now let's uncover some key personality traits associated with Scorpio. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, and like the depths of the ocean, Scorpios are shrouded in mystery. They are drawn to the hidden, the occult, and the taboo. This sign is associated with uncovering secrets and delving into the subconscious mind. Scorpios are known for their fierce and passionate nature. They dive deep into everything they do and feel, often experiencing emotions with great depth and intensity. Often associated with sexuality and intimacy, Scorpios have a deep, primal energy that can manifest in their relationships as intense, passionate desire. Scorpios possess a natural magnetism and personal power that can be both captivating and intimidating. They are not afraid to confront power dynamics and are drawn to positions of influence and control. Scorpios are notoriously private individuals who guard their innermost thoughts and feelings closely. They value trust and loyalty above all else and may be slow to open up to others. Scorpios are resourceful and resilient individuals who excel at navigating through life's challenges. They possess a keen intuition and are skilled at strategizing and problem solving. Although Scorpio is notoriously known by the symbol of the scorpion, did you know that this sign is actually associated with 4 different animal totems? Well, when you consider the depths of this sign, it's really no surprise that it's going to require a lot of meaning to capture its essence. Yeah, so let's break it down. The 4 phases of Scorpio symbolize the evolutionary journey of this intense and transformative zodiac sign, with each phase representing a different aspect of Scorpio's energy and spiritual growth. In the initial phase, Scorpio is represented by the scorpion, a creature known for its defensive and sometimes aggressive nature. At this stage, Scorpio energy may manifest as primal instincts, deep-seated fears, and a tendency towards self-protection. The scorpion phase is associated with survival instincts, emotional intensity, and a strong sense of loyalty to those deemed worthy of trust. As Scorpio evolves, it transitions into the serpent phase, symbolized by the shedding of old skin and the emergence of new growth. The serpent requires transformation, regeneration, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. In this phase, Scorpio energy is characterized by a deeper understanding of one's own power and the potential for profound inner change. The serpent phase encourages shedding outdated beliefs and embracing the process of renewal and rebirth. Next is the eagle phase, where Scorpio ascends to new heights of awareness and insight. The eagle symbolizes a shift in perspective, as Scorpio gains a bird's eye view of life's complexities and challenges. This phase is marked by increased intuition, clarity of vision, and a sense of spiritual ascension. The eagle phase encourages Scorpio to rise above earthly limitations and embrace a broader perspective on life and consciousness. The final phase of Scorpio's evolution is represented by the phoenix, hence standing over here today, the mythical bird that rises from the ashes of its own destruction. The phoenix symbolizes rebirth, renewal, and the triumph of the spirit over adversity. In this phase, Scorpio undergoes a process of death and rebirth, shedding old identities and emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. The Phoenix phase invites Scorpio to embrace transformation as a natural part of life's cycle, and to harness the power of regeneration to create a brighter future. As if Scorpio energy wasn't already intense enough, this new moon opens on the 111 portal and an 11 day. In numerology, the number 11 is considered a master number. It's one of 3 master numbers, along with 22 and 33, which all carry a higher spiritual significance. The number 11 is often referred to as the intuitive illuminator. It embodies intuition, spiritual awareness, and a connection to higher consciousness. The master number 11 speaks to divine alignment and the manifestation of higher truths. This is the number that tells you that you are undergoing a spiritual awakening to the truth that you are a piece of God, and your consciousness is a sacred vessel shaping your reality. Your creative power resides in your consciousness. And right now, it's an incredibly potent time to be intentional with your thoughts and beliefs. See, not only do we have the energy of Master 11 guiding us at this time, but this is the energy of new beginnings on steroids. New moons begin the lunar cycle, so they always carry the energy of new beginnings, which is why new moons are known to be the most powerful time for manifestation rituals, what's referred to as moon magic. Each new moon is a potent opportunity to set intentions for what you desire to manifest into reality. But currently, this power is amplified threefold, since this new moon is heavenly aligned with the 111 portal, corresponding to the angel number 111, emphasizing alignment with divine guidance and manifestation, making this lumination a rare and powerful time for setting intentions and manifesting your dreams. And with this one happening in Scorpio, the energy is centered around deep emotional transformation, empowerment, and rebirth. This is the perfect time to set intentions around personal transformation and emotional healing. In numerology, the number 1 signifies independence, leadership, and new beginnings. When it appears in triplicate, as in 111, its influence is amplified, with a heightened focus on individuality, self-empowerment, sovereignty, and standing in our truth. This number symbolizes a strong connection between the spiritual and material realms. It's a powerful and spiritually significant number, known to be a sign that your thoughts, intentions, and actions are aligning with the universal energies, signaling that you are on the right path and that your desires are in the process of materializing. And because this date lands on the master number 11 day, it suggests the potential for a deep inner journey, seeking both spiritual and material balance. We see this in the visual representation of this number, as it consists of 2 parallel lines, symbolizing duality and balance. Now, just bear with me as I digress on a bit of a side tangent here, but I promise there is a point. And it's not only relevant to today's topic, but it's also fascinating. So I recently discovered Destiny Matrix, and if you're like me and have never heard of it before now, It's a spiritual and metaphysical framework that interprets the blueprint or matrix of a person's life path, which uses numerology, astrology, and the major arcana of tarot to reveal insights into one's purpose, lessons, and potential challenges. But the reason I mention it is because I have both the numbers 11 and 8 prominent in my chart. And if you're familiar with the traditional tarot decks, such as the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, created in the 19th century, then you know the Justice card is numbered 11, and the Strength card is numbered 8. However, what I didn't know until Destiny Matrix called my awareness to it was that in earlier tarot systems, these numbers are reversed, with Strength as number 11 and Justice as number 8. These two cards are the only cards out of the entire deck that their corresponding numbers got updated. Now, the reason I point this out is because, obviously, we already talked about the significance of the number 11 at this time. But what I haven't mentioned is that in numerology, 2024 is a universal 8 year. And Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac, which we'll soon see how this number and the energy of this card very much relates to this sign. First, let me clip to another video I made earlier in this year that talked about this card, so I don't have to repeat myself. The Strength card typically depicts a woman, occasionally a man, gently taming or soothing a lion. This image symbolizes inner strength, courage, and the ability to control powerful forces through a calm and compassionate approach. The woman is often shown as serene, representing inner peace and confidence in the face of challenges. There's often an infinity symbol shown above the woman's head, indicating infinite strength and resilience. The flower garland around her waist symbolizes the softer, more nurturing aspects of strength, the courage and fortitude of inner strength, suggesting that true strength comes from a place of inner peace, compassion, and gentleness. This card represents spiritual power. Strength is not just physical, it's also spiritual and emotional. The card encourages harnessing inner spiritual power to overcome challenges. The lion represents primal and instinctual forces. Taming the lion symbolizes mastering one's instincts, desires, or challenges with grace and control. The Strength card encourages us to harness our inner power with grace and compassion, approaching situations with a calm and gentle strength. It reminds the seeker that true power comes from within, and challenges can be overcome with a balanced and compassionate mindset. There are only 2 cards in the entire tarot deck where this infinity symbol is placed over the head of the person shown on the card. And that is the Strength card and the Magician card. And what number is on the Magician card? 1. So, like I said, this is a magical moment in time for you to manifest your dreams. Oh, but check this out too. So that Justice card, the number 11, looks like the High Priestess card. And what number is on the High Priestess card? Well, it's number 2, but it looks like 11 in Roman numerals. And these 2 cards look very similar to one another. And the High Priestess goes hand in hand with the Magician. These signs are just like, I just get a kick out of it. So yeah, really, how synchronistic is this so far? And we're not even halfway through. So now let's talk about the number 8 through the lens of numerology. The number 8 is associated with the themes of infinity, balance, power, and transformation, known as the number of manifestation. 8 is all about achieving goals and bringing dreams into reality. 8 is deeply tied to the material world, often representing themes like wealth, business, and personal power. When turned on its side, the number 8 becomes the infinity symbol, representing endless cycles, eternal life, and the interconnectedness of all things. This association highlights the karmic aspect of 8, where actions lead to reactions, and reinforces the importance of balance and integrity in one's life path. 8 is a reminder that we are always in a loop of energy exchange, giving and receiving, cause and effect, aka karma. Now, if you watched the last few videos I created, then you know how relevant these themes of karma, justice, personal power, and integrity have been in the recent astrology, especially highlighted through the eclipse energies. Scorpio's domain in the 8th house is considered one of the 3 karmic houses in astrology, which consists of houses 6, 8, and 12. The 8th house in astrology is often referred to as one of the most mysterious and complex houses in the birth chart, and some may even fear it altogether. So let's just shed some light on this house so that we aren't so afraid of the dark, shall we? The 8th house is deeply connected to the concept of transformation and rebirth. It represents the death and regeneration of the self, both metaphorically and literally. Planets placed in the 8th house can indicate areas of life where significant changes and transformations are likely to occur. The 8th house is also linked to the depths of our psyche and the subconscious mind. It represents our subconscious desires, fears, and psychological complexes. Planets in the 8th house can indicate areas where we may experience emotional intimacy or undergo psychological healing and transformation. As the house of the occult, the 8th house deals with hidden knowledge, spirituality, and mysticism. It governs our interest in astrology, tarot, metaphysics, and other esoteric subjects. Planets in the 8th house can indicate a natural inclination towards exploring the mysteries of life and the unseen realms. This house is also linked to psychic abilities, intuition, and the ability to perceive beyond the material world. Planets in the 8th house can indicate a heightened sensitivity to subtle energies and psychic phenomena. The 8th house is associated with deep emotional and sexual intimacy. It represents our primal desires, passions, and sexual energy. This house governs deep emotional bonds, intimacy, and shared resources in relationships. It includes matters such as joint finances, inheritances, loans, and debts. Planets in the 8th house can influence how we approach financial transparency and the depth of our connections with others. We can see these themes deeply connected to Pluto, the modern ruler of the 8th house, and the sign Scorpio, which we'll discuss soon. But first, let's finish unraveling this thread of numerological significance. The Scorpio new moon is exact at 9 degrees. A powerful number linked to wisdom and completion. This isn't an ending in a traditional sense, but a moment of transformation. It calls us to release anything within us that no longer serves, to confront our shadows, and to ultimately rise from the ashes. The number 9 can be seen as a culmination point before returning to the number 1, since 10 reduces to 1. This cyclical nature illustrates the idea that endings are also beginnings, reinforcing the notion of ongoing growth and evolution. This is an opportunity to consciously choose rebirth. Scorpio's wisdom reminds us that the past does not have to define us, and that we can shed old skin, leave behind limiting beliefs, or release attachments to roles we've outgrown. This degree is associated with the energy of the 9th house, the sign Sagittarius, and the planet Jupiter, tied to themes of growth, expansion, and the pursuit of truth and wisdom. So under the Scorpio new moon, set the intention to free yourself from what is stagnant or untrue. Trust that as you step forward, you are stepping into a new level of authenticity and personal power. Under this Scorpio new moon, the topics of personal power and transformation come alive. This new moon is not about superficial changes. It's about digging deep, looking in the mirror, and embracing the parts of ourselves that we usually hide. The raw, vulnerable, and sometimes painful aspects of ourselves. Scorpio teaches us that the path to true empowerment lies in understanding our darkness, not in denying it. But it's no surprise why this sign is so feared when you consider its rulers are the god of war and the god of the underworld. Pluto is a more sophisticated version of Mars. Where Mars is impulsive, Pluto is strategic. Where Mars is combative, Pluto is transformational. Where Mars is war, Pluto is destruction. Where Mars is assertive, Pluto is controlling. Where Mars is angry, Pluto is vengeful. Where Mars is action, Pluto is manipulative. Where Mars is passion, Pluto is obsession. Where Mars is energy, Pluto is power. Pluto is a penetrating force that, although it typically lives in the extremes, its power has a beautiful purpose, and it deserves more credit for its creative potential. Pluto is the alchemist and uses its power for just as much creativity as destruction. But like I said before, with great power comes great responsibility. And on the day of this new moon, these co-rulers are in an intense opposition, both at the critical 29th degree. It's the final degree of each sign, and it's known as the karmic degree. It's the completion of a cycle and the point where the energy intensifies, asking us to act with maturity, integrity, and awareness. In other words, self-mastery. Mars at 29 degrees Cancer and Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn hold the keys to this transformative energy, demanding our deepest self-exploration and a call to own our inner power. So let's deepen our understanding of these planetary archetypes. Pluto's influence is associated with profound change and metamorphosis. It governs the process of death and rebirth, both on a physical and symbolic level. Despite his association with death and the underworld, Pluto is also considered the god of wealth and riches. This connection is stemmed from the belief that the Earth's underground contains a vast reservoir of precious metals and gemstones, which fall under Pluto's domain. Pluto symbolizes power in all forms, including personal power, empowerment, and the ability to influence and transform one's life. However, Pluto's power is often hidden or unconscious, operating beneath the surface of conscious awareness. Individuals with strong Pluto placements may possess an innate ability to tap into hidden resources and navigate through life's challenges with resilience and determination. Pluto rules the subconscious mind and the depths of our psyche. It governs the shadow self, representing the parts of ourselves that we may repress or deny. Pluto's influence encourages us to confront and integrate our deepest fears, desires, and motivations, leading to greater self-awareness and psychological insight. Pluto is often associated with crisis and cathartic experiences that force us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. These experiences can be painful and challenging, but they ultimately serve as catalysts for growth and transformation. Overall, Pluto's influence in astrology is profound and far-reaching. Its presence in the birth chart or through transits can indicate areas of intense growth and evolution, as well as the potential for profound personal and spiritual transformation. Pluto is the more sophisticated version of Mars, Scorpio's ruler in traditional astrology. The planet of war and action is deeply connected to the themes of personal power, confidence, and the will to forge ahead. The archetypal energy of Mars represents the warrior spirit, ruling over how we assert ourselves in the world, pursue our goals, and confront challenges. Mars influences our courage, competitive spirit, and passion, often highlighting our ability to take initiative and face challenges head-on. It is associated with masculine energy and themes of ambition and sexuality, emphasizing both physical and psychological motivations behind our actions. When Pluto opposes Mars by transit, it triggers powerful themes of inner strength, transformation, willpower, and intensity. This dynamic and challenging aspect can feel like a clash between these two powerhouses. Mars in Cancer is a fierce, protective energy, but it's at its most vulnerable here. There's a deep longing to heal the past, to reconnect with what feels like home. But it requires us to embrace our inner wounds, fears, and hidden truths. Meanwhile, Pluto sits at the last degree of Capricorn for a final 2 weeks before it leaves the sign for good, never to return again in our lifetime. Pluto here urgently wants to complete its process of deep transformation of authoritative power, digging up what's hidden in the dark and exposing what's corrupt and unsustainable. In the final degree of Capricorn, we're reminded to confront where we may have handed our power over to external authorities, rigid structures, or even our own inner critic, and then tells us to reclaim that power. This opposition between Mars and Pluto, the rulers of Scorpio and this new moon, is asking us to confront our deepest fears and alchemize them into sources of strength. This aspect is powerful because it facilitates growth by creating a necessary contrast. Unlike squares, which create friction through blockage, oppositions encourage resolution by exposing both sides. It illuminates the spectrum of qualities and prompts awareness of the areas in life that require balance. This opposition is an intense and transformative aspect that urges us to embrace our power consciously, work through inner conflicts, and approach our ambitions from a place of depth and wholeness. When managed mindfully, it can be a potent force for personal evolution and empowerment, allowing us to transcend past limitations and harness our will with clarity and purpose. But what makes this aspect even more profoundly synchronistic and powerful, besides the fact it's occurring during a new moon in Scorpio, but this opposition is only a portion of a greater, more dynamic aspect pattern that's occurring at this time, known as a mystic rectangle. Funny enough, this lunation already stands strong in and of itself as the mystic archetype. In astrology, a mystic rectangle is a rare and harmonious aspect pattern that forms when 4 planets are connected by 2 oppositions, 2 trines, and 2 sextiles. The shape of the aspect pattern resembles a rectangle, with the trines and sextiles creating the sides, and with the oppositions running through the middle, forming an X. When a mystic rectangle occurs during transit, here with Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn, Uranus at 25 degrees Taurus, Mars at 29 degrees Cancer, and Mercury at 28 degrees Scorpio, it brings a unique blend of challenge, but also of opportunities of great potential. Together, they create a dynamic and harmonious energy that can help you resolve conflicts, bring balance, and tap into your potential. Now, what I find to be even more divinely ironic is in the context of planetary octaves in astrology, referring to 2 planets that hold similar energy, but claim that one of them holds a higher octave in comparison, reflecting a more refined or spiritual expression of the energy. And the planets in opposition with one another in this mystic rectangle are both known to be 2 of these octave pairings. Mars is seen as the lower octave of Pluto, since it often reflects more impulsive and primal urges, whereas Pluto embodies a deeper, more transformative energy that seeks to create meaningful change. And Uranus is seen as the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury governs communication, thought processes, and intellectual pursuits, often focused on the more mundane and logical aspects of thought, whereas Uranus represents innovative thinking, higher consciousness, and revolutionary ideas. It embodies flashes of insight and the ability to think outside of traditional boundaries. So how do we work with a mystic rectangle in transit? Well, first is to identify the oppositions. Focus on areas of conflict or imbalance in your life, seen through the planets in opposition. Ask yourself where you need more balance, compromise, or understanding. We already covered the lessons of Mars and Pluto, but with Uranus and Taurus, opposite Mercury and Scorpio, there is a clash between sudden, rebellious ideas with Uranus versus deep, intense, and obsessive thoughts with Mercury and Scorpio. So expect disruptive insights, revolutionary thinking, or unexpected communication. Basically, expect the unexpected. This aspect encourages breakthrough ideas, but can also lead to mental restlessness or shocking revelations. Here in the US, I see a strong potential for this to manifest through conflicts having to do with the election. But on a personal level, give yourself space and time to think, considering all the perspectives with an open mind, and embrace the revelations that can come through higher channels of inner knowing. We're being given a potent opportunity, Since the veil is particularly thin at this time, there is a heightened probability for deeply spiritual insight to come through. So take advantage. Just expect the unexpected. But because, like I said before, these planets are on the same spectrum of energy, so it should actually be easier for us to integrate the lesson of the opposition in this case, since it simplifies our focus to raising our frequency in alignment with the higher octave planet, while simultaneously just needing to worry about balancing the axis of sign polarities. So the octave of Pluto for the Capricorn-Cancer axis and the octave of Uranus balance between the Scorpio-Taurus polarity. The second step is to use the trines and sextiles. Lean into the strengths and opportunities presented by the harmonious aspects. These will help you find solutions, ease tensions, and make progress in life where otherwise might feel more difficult. So let's first talk about the trines. Pluto is in a trine with Mercury. This is a potent aspect for deep thinking, research, and uncovering hidden truths. Pluto's transformative energy blends harmoniously with Mercury's intellectual depth, making it a powerful time for communication that delves beneath the surface. It's excellent for psychological work, investigations, or any intellectual endeavor that requires focus and intensity. And then Mars is trine to Uranus. This aspect gives you the courage to take bold, innovative actions. Mars energy in Cancer can be reactive, but with Uranus and Taurus, there is a push to break free from old emotional patterns and try something new. It's great for making decisive changes or taking risks that feel liberating. So then the sextiles. We have Pluto sextiling Uranus. This aspect signals an opportunity for transformative change, particularly related to societal structures, Capricorn, and personal security, Taurus. It could be a time when you're able to revolutionize long-standing patterns in your life, especially those related to authority, control, and security. Mars sextile to Mercury energizes communication and thought processes. It supports taking decisive, well-calculated actions. With Mercury in Scorpio and Mars in Cancer, emotions might run deep, but this aspect can help channel that intensity into productive conversations or actions. The third step is to seek integration. A mystic rectangle calls for integration of opposites. So work on bringing together conflicting areas of your life to create more harmony. This could involve reconciling internal conflicts, finding a balance between personal and professional life, or healing relationships. This mystic rectangle is full of transformative potential, especially with Pluto and Uranus involved. It's a time for breaking down old structures, both emotional and material, and rebuilding them in a way that is more authentic and sustainable. Be prepared for emotional intensity, especially regarding control, security, and personal power. But know that this intensity holds the key to deep transformation. Uranus brings an element of unpredictability, especially with the opposition to Mercury. You may experience sudden shifts in your thinking or communication. So be open to these changes, as they can bring new insights and opportunities for growth. Try not to resist the disruptions, but instead see them as necessary catalysts for transformation. Mars and Uranus offer the chance to take bold, innovative actions. So trust your instincts and take risks where you feel called to break free from emotional stagnation. This is a time for decisive action that aligns with your deeper values. The Mercury-Pluto trine is a gift for deep, transformative conversations. So use this time to get to the heart of the matter, especially in relationships or situations where power dynamics are at play. Honest, intense communication can lead to breakthroughs and healing. Because the mystic rectangle supports constructive progress, take practical steps towards resolving conflicts and making use of your talents. You'll find that with the right approach, you can turn challenges into opportunities. Remember, the opposition highlights tension and the need for balance, while the trines and sextiles offer harmonious pathways to resolve those tensions. By embracing change, expressing yourself deeply, and taking bold actions, you can harness this powerful energy for profound growth and transformation. Now, just when you thought this energy couldn't get any more magical, we realize there's also a grand water trine occurring during this new moon. In astrology, the water element is associated with emotions, intuition, sensitivity, and the subconscious. The water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, each express this element uniquely, bringing qualities of empathy, deep feeling, and spiritual awareness. A strength of water placements is that it gifts us with psychic abilities, a keen sense of what's going on beneath the surface when one can just know things without having a logical explanation. This aspect with a Scorpio new moon adds an extra layer of intensity and emotional depth to the already potent energies of this lunation. Mars at 29 degrees Cancer, Mercury at 28 degrees Scorpio, and Neptune at 27 degrees Pisces creates a harmonious configuration, highlighting the interplay of emotional depth, intuition, communication, and creative expression, providing a rich and supportive energy for personal development and healing. The Scorpio new moon amplifies emotional energy and intuition, creating a fertile ground for exploring deeper feelings, desires, and fears. This can lead to powerful insights and breakthroughs in understanding your emotional landscape. The grand water trine facilitates a flow of emotional energy between the three planets, allowing for deep emotional insights, creativity, and healing. You may find that your emotional expression, thoughts, and dreams are interconnected and support one another at this time. The trine can also indicate strong healing abilities, particularly in the realms of emotional and spiritual healing. You may be drawn to practices such as counseling, Reiki, or other modalities, which can help you to navigate your emotional landscape. This configuration fosters supportive emotional connections with others. So you may find that your relationships and partnerships are deeply nurturing and understanding at this time, creating a safe space for emotional vulnerability. The grand water trine enhances creativity and artistic expression, particularly in areas that explore emotional themes. You may feel inspired to create art, music, or writing that resonates on a deep emotional level. With Mercury in Scorpio, you can communicate your insights in a way that resonates with others. The trine allows you to convey your thoughts and feelings authentically, creating a bridge between emotional understanding and intellectual clarity. While this grand water trine brings many positive qualities, it can also present challenges, especially if you're not used to the intensity of this deeply emotional and intuitive energy. This intensity of emotional energy may lead to feelings of overwhelm or emotional sensitivity. So it's essential at this time to find grounding practices to help you manage this sensitivity. With a strong Neptune influence, there may be a tendency to escape from reality through daydreaming or avoidance. And then Mercury in Scorpio can get caught up in obsessive thoughts. So together, this can lead to limerence in relationships. But staying grounded and connected to the present can help to mitigate these tendencies. With Mars in Cancer, there may be a struggle to assert oneself directly, especially in emotional contexts, which can manifest as passive aggression and inaction. So learning to balance emotional sensitivity with assertive expression is the key with this. Overall, this grand water trine presents a potent opportunity for emotional growth, intuitive understanding, and creative expression. By harnessing the energies of Mars, Mercury, and Neptune, you can navigate the complexities of your emotional landscape and use your insights and creativity to connect with others and facilitate deep healing. So embrace the strengths of this configuration while remaining aware of the potential challenges. And use this time to learn how you can create the feeling of balance and fulfillment in life. The combination of a grand water trine with the Scorpio new moon presents a unique opportunity for moon magic, manifesting not just what you want, but what your soul truly needs. By harnessing these energies, you can navigate this transformative time with greater clarity and purpose. Moon magic draws on the spirit and energy of the moon. The moon is cyclical in its strength, relating directly to the lunar phases. The new moon is the beginning of the lunar cycle, when the moon and the sun come back together in the sky after completing their previous cycle. Here, the moon is dark, being infused with the light of the sun, but not visibly. This is the most potent time to initiate new ideas, projects, or new beginnings of any kind. These are supportive energies that you can harness in your manifestation practice, delving into your emotions, setting powerful intentions, and facilitating your manifestation practice with this deeply intuitive and emotional energy. The dark moon is full of possibility. You don't need to know how things will unfold. You just need to take action to get it started. This is the time to set intentions based on your deepest desires. Release fear, lean into faith, and trust your inner vision. New moons also encourage a focus on hidden knowledge and inner clarity, making them ideal for connecting to the spirit realm or receiving subtle guiding messages. And now we know Scorpio is the ideal energy for uncovering hidden truths, facing fears, and confronting matters deeply embedded in your psyche. So to assist, you can work with labradorite, black moonstone, obsidian, and clear quartz. Those are great crystals to work with on a new moon. To harness this energy, I invite you to meditate or journal with the question, what am I ready to release so that I can become who I am meant to be? And as you sit with this question, visualize yourself shedding old identities, old pains, and self-limiting beliefs. Let them burn away in the light of the phoenix, the sacred totem of Scorpio. Know that you are calling forth your truest self, strong, resilient, and unafraid to embrace the depths of your being. This Scorpio new moon is a potent time for a ritual of release and rebirth. Light a candle, focus on what you're ready to let go of, and offer it up to the flame. Know that whatever you release tonight is making room for something new, something powerful, something true to who you are becoming. And remember, you are not defined by your past. Whether your energy is currently aligned with the scorpion or the snake, the eagle, or you are the phoenix, just know you can trust the process, constantly evolving and rising higher. So use this potent energy to set the intention for who you'd like to become. Work with the elements of fire and water to cast out your heart's true desire by speaking the spell. Under the light of the new moon's night, I set these intentions pure and bright. May they grow and come to be with harm to none and blessings to me. As it is, and so it shall be. Good luck and happy Halloween. Are you guys doing anything fun? I love Halloween. It's my favorite time of year, and I just love having a reason to get dressed up. Not gonna lie. Now that I'm aware of astrology, it totally makes sense, since I have Pluto and Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio in my first house. But I also have my moon in Leo, which is all about performing, so it totally fits. Now, I'll leave you with one last nugget of info to top off this synchronistic Scorpio moon. I'm assuming a lot of you will get to celebrate the spirit of Halloween with friends. So how fitting that together the sun and moon will join forces activating the Sabian Symbol for 9 to 10 degrees Scorpio, which is a fellowship supper. And reading the interpretation from my go-to guy for Sabian symbols, Jane Burgess, he writes, camaraderie, group activity generates a deep sense of belonging and willingness to help others and join in with their ups and downs. It's the enjoyment of friendliness. Sharing in life's activities with others binds us to them, not only during the activity itself, There are feelings created that can endure over surprisingly long periods of absence. What occurs during the sharing of our lives is the creation of a group identity with its own personality, beliefs, code of conduct, and atmosphere. This is certainly a real and important aspect of who we are. Our comradeship is a higher order aspect of self-expression and self-discovery. That it is. And Halloween provides an annual opportunity for us to engage with the shadow side of life, to embrace the things we often fear, ignore, or shy away from. Costumes, masks, and symbols of death and the morbid allow us to externalize and even play with these fears. Scorpio energy calls us to face these inner shadows and confront what lies beneath the surface of our own psyche. This is the season for acknowledging both personal and collective darkness. And in Scorpio fashion, using it as fuel for transformation. Scorpio is also the sign most closely associated with mystery and magic, echoing the Halloween themes of enchantment, witches, and the supernatural. Halloween's darkly mystical atmosphere reminds us that there is beauty in embracing the unknown, a truth that Scorpio holds close. Through Scorpio's influence, Halloween becomes not just a holiday of costumes and spooky decorations, but a portal to understanding life's depth, where we are invited to explore the cycles of life and death, gain insight from our ancestors, and understand that, much like Scorpio, we have the power to transform, to shed old skins, and to rise anew. So with that, thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the Scorpio new moon. May this energy guide you into powerful transformation and bring you closer to your own truth and embodiment of your higher self. Don't forget to subscribe for more cosmic insights. Wishing you a beautiful rebirth under this Scorpio new moon. And until next time, shine bright, star siblings. Happy Halloween! Trick or treat!